everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Saturday while I get adjusted here. It is 3 o'clock on Saturday. And today, if any of you guys don't know, we're going to wait a few minutes, let people get joined in. I know a couple of people were going to join in. But in the interim, while we wait, did you guys know that today is 444? Everybody's like, what is 444? 444 is basically April 4th, 2020. And if you know anything about numerology 2 plus 2 equals 4. And that ends up with 4 for that year. So this is a big portal for people that are actually into that kind of thing in universe. And basically what that means is, a lot of people are, I hear about all this, but what does it mean? Well, what it really means is that Jupiter and Pluto are lined up. Pretty much it, and along with the United States, with the Earth, and so that creates a portal. When they say portal, it's basically a portal where more energies can come in. And when we talked about the last time we had a portal is the Mercury retrograde, and with the Mercury retrograde, that was a really bad. Confusing, conflicting, a lot of arguing, a lot of those kind of times. So that's what 444 is all about. It's just a portal. A lot of people that are really overboard into that stuff, they believe with a 5G and all that kind of stuff gets interacted with that, the radiation, but mainly the portal is open. So what it is, it's pouring in all these rays of positive energies and closest to the divine that you're supposed to be able to get. So, but that's what 444 is about. And so I thought I would share that with you while we get started and get waiting a little bit. And Spiritual Saturday, this is, if you've never had Get Balanced 2020, and I just realized the Haunted Mansion. If you're a Disney person, you know what this shirt is. 50 Years of Haunted Mansion. Well, it's one of our places to go. But what we are here for on Saturdays is Spiritual Saturday for Get Balanced 2020. Now, if you don't know what Get Balanced 2020 is, I would love for you to go on to my website and it will tell you all about that. But basically, it's putting together your mind, spirit, and your body through the way that our thought process is and the way that we can transform our thought process to more of a successful lifestyle, as well as what your purpose is in life on this earth. So a lot of people get stuck with the negative and get into depression, get into modes of sort of a negative pattern, thought pattern, or a victim pattern, those kind of things. Those are areas that we can be actually taught out of into a positive, successful manner where we actually are living for our purpose, what we're here meant to do. So a lot of us don't even know why we're here. And so that is basically a little bit of what I teach on how to put your mind, your nutrition, and your fitness are really important in that process as well as your spirit. So I used to teach and do videos on Monday for mind, Wednesday was nutrition, Friday was fitness, and then Saturday was Spiritual Saturday. But we've sort of restarted that starting April. So because we have two ways we live our life, we live either by earth ways or we live by spiritual ways. And so I'm just going to adjust this one camera a little bit because it's driving me nuts. It's a little high. And so basically we live by two ways. And so what we decided to do, I keep saying we, but I talked to somebody that helps me get some ideas and stuff like that. And so what they thought was, why don't you do more earth and then more spirit? Because if I do that, then it allows me to have a little bit more time to focus in on the real things rather than trying to do all the little videos. So in April, we started a series. And what that series is about is getting to the roots or the foundation of how we think and why we think. It's almost the 5 who, what, where, when, and hows of how our process is and why and how we can get out of destructive process thinking. And then we also talk about nutrition, getting to the roots and the foundation of why we're eating, what we're eating, how we're eating, when we're eating, that kind of thing, because that's really important, not only for our mind, for our fuel for our mind, but it's also a forward jump for our fitness. So when we do any kind of exercise, I'll say fitness or exercise. I've been in the exercise industry for so many years. Back in the day, I don't do it anymore. I'm not a gym manager right now. But the thing is that, and I used to bodybuild. So the thing is that what we want to do is make sure that we're fueling our body and our mind so that when we move, it can burn effectively and efficiently. But also, we can actually restore and repair our body as we need to. You'll be really surprised that nutrition can help repair, especially for surgeries and broken bones and things like that. So we want to get to the roots of our mind and our thought process. So our mind and our body is actually earth. And then our spirit is actually a completely separate, more complex thing, only because everybody, especially in the Western world, we're brought up very differently than the Eastern world, or we're brought up either under believing God or we're believing, Buddha or Allah or whoever it is. But there's reasons why maybe culturally we learn that, but is that really, really who we are deep inside spiritually? So that's what the focus is for April, is to get to the core, the foundation, and the roots of everything that we're actually doing. I'm going to adjust this camera a little bit too. Sorry about that, folks, but I just want it to be a little bit lower there. So today, what we do on Spiritual Saturday is that's just it. Now, being April, this is our part 1. If you have not seen part 1 for nutrition and mind, please go to YouTube and look at my YouTube channel on Get Balanced 2020, Patti Hall, or you can check out my website, and they'll have some of the links there for the videos, but not all of them. So you'll want to be able to go to YouTube or add my Facebook, and then you can watch, because I will repost them occasionally. But if you really want to resonate with something for yourself, what you'll want to do is go to Mind, and maybe you need help with self-esteem, or maybe you need help with confidence or persistence, or how to be more perseverant, or maybe be more thoughtful for yourself. We teach that. So you'll want to look at the Mind videos. If you want to look at nutrition and you're really needing some nutrition help, you can do that. Or if you want, at the very end, everything is free. So I've had years and years and years of experience in education, but this year I'm doing it all for you guys for free. So you guys educate me what you need, and we'll talk about it. So you can go there and find that out. So with all that house cleaning done now, so I'd like to talk about spirit and what I do on Mondays and on the nutrition. So we started sort of talking about the basis of like what a tree is. I guess that basically can give you an idea. I'm trying to do more visuals because people are very visual and they can catch a concept like that. And trees are pretty easy concept. So, or a plant or whatever that has roots that is grown in the ground. So now on Mind Monday, we were talking about the foundation of who we are and why and where some of our dysfunction comes from, or our brokenness. Basically, everybody's broken. So we talk about that. In nutrition, where's our basis of our nutrition come from? A lot of it comes from our heritage and our families. Same with our spiritualism. It comes from our heritage and our families on what we were taught as a little person. Now, whether that's right or wrong, that's for you to determine, because this is your life, your journey, your purpose. And so I will tell you a story here shortly, but it needs to be a decision of truth, and to be able to be a decision of your truth, but not only your truth, but the divine truth. So in spiritual, and we do talk about spirits, we do talk about paranormal, we do talk about, because I have a lot of abilities as an empath, and it's taken me many, many years to come out, basically, if you want to say out of the closet with it. But this is where I want people to understand it's okay if you don't feel like everybody else, if you don't feel like you're fitting in, if you don't feel like you feel like you're going nuts, you're not. So I just want you to be here. I want to be here for you guys, because the thing is that in all reality, a lot of what we are inside is stuff we can't even see or explain. And that's why spirituality is so difficult and complex, because depends on what part of the world you come from, what you believe in. But at the very base of everything, at the very root of everything, it's actually what is inside of you that actually you need to come out. Mainly spirit and spirituality is based and rooted. If we look at every single type of spirituality there is, it doesn't matter what it is or what it's called, it comes from a root, and that root has two things. Mainly, what that spirituality wants us to do is love. It's of love, it is love, it's for love, it's all about love. And when we get away from that, which it's very easy to do, because then we focus on fear. And fear and love are two things that we actually base a lot of our decisions on. And you're like, well, no, I don't. Yes, no, you just pay attention a little bit and you'll see what I'm talking about. So you think about those. So I ask when I talk about the series, the April series, is to get a pencil and paper, because I want you to be jotting some notes down, what comes to your mind. Because when spirit talks, or when your divine talks, or your intuition talks to you, basically it's going to be a thought, or it's going to be a sight of something, or it's going to be a coincidence of something, which there is no coincidences. Everything is conjoined and joined together. But the thing is that something is going to pop up, and you're going to you're going to have an aha moment, or like, did that really happen? Or did you know that? I mean, this has been happening a lot, especially with 4-4 happening. It's the portal's open, energies are flowing, a lot of crown chakra, a lot of third chakra, everything is just flowing. So the thing is that we want to know that spirit works and talks in many, many ways. So where we want to get to the root of everything is where we started. So let me go back a little bit. So as I grew up, my mom was Catholic. Okay, so she grew up with that belief system, and that's what she was taught as a little girl. So she kept going and doing it and following it. Well, when she was in her 40s, she began to question things and didn't like certain things, and things just didn't feel right. So what she wanted to do was break away and find a new avenue that would fit what she was changing and believing in. So she went to a different type of church. Lo and behold, the whole rigmarole and everything. But the thing is, it's an organized belief, and that's what she believed in. And she believed in that almost until she got cancer. When she got cancer, I found out things that she believed in more than she would ever talk about. But the other thing too is that, but as I'm growing up, that's what she taught me. So my roots were actually in the Bible and God and Christ and that kind of thing. But even as a child, something just didn't feel right to me. I kept asking questions. My mom was friends with the priest of our church. And so I would always ask Father Mayrand, I would say, can we talk about Revelations? Revelations is so interesting. I want to learn about Nope, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. Certain things that they would talk about that I was just wanting to be a sponge for, that we wouldn't talk about. So that's my roots from where I started. But as I grew up, probably about the age of 15, I wanted to break away, because I knew there was more to life than that. Because as a little girl, I had